Who will be the next Hibernian manager? The odds are in, and according to Edinburgh News, it's quite intriguing, and there is a clear favourite. Welcome back, guys, to Folk Football. We're going to look at two sets of odds, ones that were done yesterday and ones that are done today, because that tells you who is mightily went up and who is actually realistically going to be manager, because there's no point me talking about Tam McManus at 100 to 1, but I'll talk about him nonetheless. He's not going to be it, right? If you're 100 to 1 as a manager, it's not going to happen. You know, once you're linked, or got a realistic link, you'll be under 10 to 1. That's just the reality of it. You're not going to be 100 to 1. So for me, I think we can automatically rule Tam McManus out of this. Up next, though, we've got Roy Keane. Was linked with the job but when Lee Johnson initially took over. He's come in at 25 to 1. I'm not going to speak too much about Roy Keane because there's more to talk about him later. And we have got Reese boy, McCabe. We've got him at 20 to 1. So there he is, absolutely loving life. Could he be the one? I mean, we're going down the odds charts here, so it might be you, but it might not be you, big man. And then here we have got Callum Davidson coming in at 20 to 1. Of course, Callum Davidson is without a club. You know, on Super Scoreboard, they talk about managers that are linked with this. People have said that Tommy Wright is linked with this. When was the last time Tommy Wright had a job? It might have been St Johnstone, but he's not done anything since then. I know you could say Callum Davidson's not done anything since St Johnstone, but he's sacked recently. You know, and he won a cup double. Like, does that not earn you anything? Scottish football, but you know the general consensus is that Hibs need to go get a Malky Mackay or a Derek McInnes or something like that. That is the general consensus. But who will they get? I guess we'll find out. I think Hibs will probably have it wrapped up before this international break. Who the next manager is going to be? Some people think it could be Neil Francis Lennon. God damn, could it be Neil Lennon? Who knows? But up next we've got Michael O'Neill at 16 to 1. Course, currently managing Northern Ireland, so he just went back. But I mean, he left them to go to Stoke, so I mean, he could go there. We've got Malky Mackay at 16 to 1. We've got Knutson at 16 to 1. He was linked with Celtic, I think he'll go there. We've got the Rev Rovers boss, Ian Murray. Next page, what have we got here? Is Neil Lennon on top of every page? Neil Lennon wants this. We have got Darren Moore at 16 to 1. We've got Marvin Bartley at 14 to 1. Scott Brown at 12 to 1. Now that's an interesting one. Of course, he's doing it Fleetwood at the minute. See, I think Scott Brown would have been a better option than Lee Johnson. Lee Johnson, Formula One cars, sharks, lions. The guy just seems to talk an awful lot of pish, doesn't he? Thankfully, that's him gone. Even though it's kind of funny. It's not exactly the greatest things we've ever heard. Who's up next? We've got Stephen Bradley of Shamrock Rovers. So we'll look at the next page and then we'll look at today. So you can see this, man. There's a lot of outsiders here. We've got Chris Wilder. He was linked with Aberdeen, but he turned that down. We've got Stevie Evans. We've got John Kennedy. We've got Nick Montgomery. And that is it. So drum roll, please. Here is the favourite now for the Hibs job. It's not David Gray. It's no Davy Gray. It's no Derek McInnes. Davy Gray though, 10 to 1. That's surprising for me. I don't know what he's doing in terms of managerial sense, but I'm pretty sure he's not doing anything. Derek McInnes 8 to 1. Like we talked about yesterday in the preview show, or the review show, sorry. McInnes built up Kelly last season, you know, not that great. This season they look a lot better. Seems like they're just a lot more structured. And, you know, it takes a while to create things like that. He's built it up over a couple of seasons now. Is he willing to throw that away for a job at Hibs that it literally could go tits up and he could get sacked, you know, this time next year or at the end of the season or something? For me, I think he's going to stay. Come on, I think that's the safest option for him. Malky Mackay, though, 6 to 1. Shot up to 6 to 1. But I think the favourite's going to surprise some people. If you haven't already clocked on, Roy Keane, evens. Clear favourite. Roy Keane would be box office for the league, right? Get him in. Imagine Roy Keane at Ibrox arguing with Michael Beale at the interviews. Fucking get Roy Keane in. This, shite manager, so we don't really have to worry about that. But man, it would be box office for the league. Get Roy Keane in. Great banter. I love to see players squaring up against Roy Keane. And oh man, get him in. Box office stuff here on Fog Football. But Roy Keane, favourite. What will happen? Time will tell.